First on the panel discussion, we have Remi Dairo. He's a globally renowned personal productivity expert and workplace productivity consultant. He is passionate about the productivity of Africans and loves to add value to personal, organizational, and natural productivity, taking his client from point A to a point B of maximum productivity. The Guardian newspaper in Nigeria refers to him as Mr. Productivity, while the Punch newspaper and Channels TV, all in Nigeria, refers to him as the productivity expert. While invited many times to proffer solutions to the productivity challenges in Africa, productivity to Mr. Remi is not just a career, it is his way of life. He trains it, he coaches it, he consults it. To him, productivity is the most important thing on earth, increasing the capacity of human resources and other factors for maximum results. The second panelist is Mr. Dennis Agbeti. Dennis Agbeti is a psychotherapist, behavioral change specialist, certified peak performance coach, performance management consultant, and corporate trainer with a background education, experience, and exposure in computer science and engineering, life coaching, neuro-linguistic programming, cognitive behavioral therapy, emotional freedom technique, and matrix re-imprinting technique. He helps individuals and organizations shape behavioral and culture to enhance performance, multiply productivity, and profitability. He achieves this through psychotherapy, coaching training, and consulting. As a youth development expert, he has trained over 7,000 youth across Nigeria. He is also Google Partner for Digital Literacy in Africa. Also, we have the host of this conversation, Oluwatosin Olabode. He's a wealth of positive energy. He's a 2-time TEDx speaker and digital wellness educator. He's the founder Doing Healthy Africa, a digital wellness consultancy and advocacy platform that raises internet users to have the stamina and technical know-how to thrive in a fast-rising digital era. He is also the founder, Strengthening Society Today Foundation, a non-profit organization providing intervention in the areas of suicide prevention, youth character development, and guidance and counseling by connecting those that need the help with those that can help. Oluwatosin is a member of the Digital Wellness Collective and Global Trade Association for Digital Wellness Experts and Organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome two of our panelists and the host.
Welcome everybody to this all-important conversation on productivity and well-being. One of the things we realized in the last few months, especially because of the pandemic, is that due to productivity or inability to do the things that a lot of people usually do, their mental health was affected to a larger stage. So most of the calls that we got at the foundation were based on people saying if there are any opportunities for them to be a bit better so they could make ends meet either for themselves or for their family members. So this conversation is all important because as we'll be seeing during the course of the discussion, productivity and well-being do not stand alone. They work together. I want this conversation to be as live as possible, live in the term that if you have any question as regards productivity or well-being, just drop it straight and we'll ask your quick question. So the floor is already open to all participants already. But to start us with, I would like to ask Mr. Remi, it seems to me that there is a preconceived notion of what productivity is. So a lot of people feel, as a digital wellness expert, for instance, now there's this concept of always on culture. So if you receive a mail from your boss in the office, you can quickly reply that message. There's this mindset of if I'm busy, then I'm productive. If I am always doing something, then I'm productive. So I just want to start the conversation. Let's understand what is productivity.
All right. Thank you very much, Oluwatosin. It's been nice listening to other speakers since, and then I must say it's been a very valuable moment for me too. So I've also been learning. I've been writing notes here. So back to productivity and the definition or the knowledge, understanding of productivity. So I would say that productivity is not something new to many of us. If you check our dictionary and then check some school of thought, some say productivity is efficiency, Some will say it's an effectiveness. Some will say getting things done. Some will say getting results and all that. That's cool. But I will give you a funny definition. Over the years, I have this funny definition that I give to productivity, and then this definition will bring the meaning to life for us. So the definition is this: productivity is a complex word from two simple words. Productivity is a complex word from two simple words. I don't know anybody who can get it right quite easily. What are the simple words in productivity? That is the definition of productivity. If you can do that, can you type it on the chat room so I can look at it? Productivity is a complex word from two simple words. What would that be? I'm checking the chat room right away, and I'm hearing, or anybody who can just quickly give me the answer. I want it to be something that is interactive. So productivity in that definition is product and activity. So if you put product and activity together, you have product activity. Productivity, that's my first word, productivity. Now, productivity means a product or a service or value, that comes out of activity, or activity that results to product or results to value or results to something that is worthwhile. So productivity is not activity. Yeah, productivity is activity that results to value, that results to product or service or something tangible or intangible. So what I'm trying to say right here is, when there is no value derived from activity, it's a game of futility. When there's no value from the activity of the day or activity of the week or activity of the month, it's a wasted effort. Therefore, productivity is not activity. Productivity is activity that results to value, that results to something that somebody can exchange back in value or pay value for, or give you value for, because you're already putting value on the table. So no value on the table, no productivity done. So either you call it effectiveness, efficiency, result, this and that. I mean, it is products as a result of activity. So I say in a very funny way, I said, activity that does not result to product, which could be tangible and intangible or value, is a game of futility. Nothing is done. And there are many of it in our society today. So let me stop that way. That's a funny definition of productivity. Without understanding, you can take it up from there.
Awesome. So I was just saying that that's very key. Value has to be there for it to be called productivity. I just noticed the question from the audience, and somebody is asking, to begin with, what is value? So we have a picture of the context with which we are defining productivity as it relates to value. And then Mr. Dennis will come up after that.
Okay, so value is value. And value is in relations to different fields or departments or your boss. You cannot fix value down. Value is value as defined by your customer. Value is value as defined by your boss. Value is value as defined by your industry. Value is value as defined by your area or whatever you are. What is expected at that point is value. And I'll give you an example. For an author, the value or productivity of an author is to get the book published. So when you write a book and the book is not published, it is not valuable. I mean, we cannot buy it. It's not valuable yet. The productivity of value of a nurse or a doctor is to get the patient healed, or to get the patient better from the way the patient, from who the patient was when he entered, the hospital. Okay, so value is it's according to industry. And now sometimes your boss say, please get me file so and so, type it out and send it to this email. And you said, okay, I think the value to me now is to scrub the table in the office, sweep the office, wash the toilets, and then keep the office neat. Yeah, that is value to you. But the guy said, no, I told you this morning that you should get file so out, type it out and send it to this email. To me, today, that is value. To you, cleaning the whole office, scrubbing the table in the office, arranging the files well, cleaning the toilets in the office is irrelevant. It's not value. So if you're not careful, we'll be taking value according to what we think is value. We have to check what exactly does our boss want. What exactly does to a customer? I bought something from you. I bought a phone from you, and it's a brand new phone. So value to me is to see that the phone is what, when I get home, the phone I put in battery, I put my SIM in there, and then I on it, and then, wow, I can call, I can send message, I can do a lot of things with the phone. And I got home and I tried all these things, it's not working. I put the SIM, it's not working. I put the battery, it's not working. And I said, I gave you phone now. I gave you phone. Did I give you a tangible phone? Did I give you the package? The package that look at, no, that is not value. So you have to find out what is the value to the customer. That is productivity. Meeting the value is productivity. What's the value to my boss? Meeting the value is productivity. What's the value in my industry or in my sector? What do they understand? What would be productivity to people in my sphere? That exactly is value. So I don't want to go and take all that time. I can be on and on and on and on this. So let's go on one step after the other.
Good stuff. Mr. Dennis, I don't know if you would like to add to that, because I see a lot of people defining their productivity by their ability to just do stuff. So just go on, if you can add a bit about that.
So I'm so happy and excited to be part of this event. I just enjoyed what Mr. Remi just, the explanation of value. And it's important that people have the right understanding about productivity, because in many times in the workplace and in life, people just think as long as I'm doing something, it means that.
Yeah.
So people mistaking busyness for productivity, and it's important that you understand that value is very, very important, and we cannot box value, because like Mr. Remi said, value means different things to different people. And you need to understand that. And that's why one of the things that is key to productivity is clarity. You must be clear about the demand or what is expected per time. And when you are clear, you know, I tell people that clarity is superior to knowledge. And when people know, the fact that you know does not mean that you are clear. And what makes you productive is you need to be clear as to what is required of you at the moment. Like you said, what is required by your boss, by the customer, by the market, by the industry, by your nation. And you must understand that input productivity is about is that efficiency that you are able to convert input to useful output. Okay, so the connection, how is your input commensurate to the output? Is your output useful? So the connection between your input and your output is very important when it comes to productivity.
This is good stuff. One thing I'm hearing is that the foundation has to be right to even begin with. So one of the reasons why we could be getting frustrated, or one of the reasons why our mental health, we are anxious or getting depressed over not seeing turnover or not seeing the value we assumed we had, could be that the foundation was already faulty. So there wasn't a clarity in terms of purpose, and then there wasn't a value attached to what that purpose was going to do. So I just want to ask, starting with Mr. Dennis still, before we come back to Mr. Remi, I just wanted to ask, how do we define well-being, especially since we are in the context of this conversation now, we're beginning to see that we need to be in the right frame of mind to be productive. So I just wanted to ask, someone might be thinking now, productivity and well-being. So what's well-being and why is it important to be able to build a solid foundation for productivity?
Okay, in the spirit of being simple and being relatable and practical, well-being is a state where you feel healthy, or you are healthy, you are happy, and you feel fulfilled. Okay, health, happiness, and fulfillment. And when we talk about health, we're talking about both physical health and mental health. All right, and it's important that you prioritize well-being, because well-being will affect your level of productivity. Now, according to the World Health Organization definition for mental health, and when we hear about mental health, they are thinking about the woman that is out of mind or absent-minded on the street, probably naked, eating from the dustbin, and they say, oh, that's mental health. Mental health is definitely beyond that. Mental health is a state of well-being where an individual is aware and the individual actualizes his or her potential. Number two, mental health is that state of well-being where you are fruitful and you are productive. Number three, mental health is that state of well-being where you are able to manage, adapt, and tackle the normal stress of life, and a state of well-being where you are able to contribute to your society. It means that if you are not able to adapt, you are not able to tackle the normal pressures of life, you are not mentally healthy. If you are not productive, if you are not effective, if you're not creating that value, or you're not meeting the demands that is placed upon you by in your work, at home, you are not mentally healthy. Number three, if you are not able to contribute positively to people around you, to your community, you're not mentally healthy. And number four, if you are not aware and you're not actualizing your potential, you're not realizing that yourself, you feel like you're not being your best, and it's more like a daily experience, then you are not mentally healthy. When you are not mentally healthy, you cannot be, you're not able to create, you're not able to perform as it's expected. And that's why it's important that we all take our mental health and our well-being very seriously.
Something comes to mind, and I'll just shift the question to Mr. Remi. But when you were speaking, I remember that we look at health from the place of physical health. So once I'm physically healthy, it seems I'm completely whole. But if you are to define health, it's not just the state of absence of diseases or illnesses, but the state of mental, emotional, and social well-being. So I think it's important that as this conversation is going on, that we begin to ask, so yes, I have my physical health on lockdown, but do I have my mental, social health, do I have it on lockdown also? So the question I'm throwing to Mr. Remi is the fact that I see, especially with a lot of young people, as a young person, they'll give example of someone that is successful, and they will say the person doesn't sleep for more than 4 hours or 5 hours. So that's the definition of productivity. So I just wanted to ask, because we're talking about being in the state of wellness, mentally, psychologically, and just being in that state of holistic wellness. I just wanted to ask, is resting for 8 hours, which is the recommended amount of time an individual is supposed to sleep, or about that amount of hours, is a young person sleeping for 8 hours a day in the night an unproductive act?
Okay, let me quickly answer the first question you didn't ask me. I will now answer this question. Now, the well-being of a man, or a well-being concept, is not only physical. Oh, I'm physically fit. You have seen people who are physically fit and yet they get frustrated. They die by suicide. Okay. We are also people who say, "Oh, I'm strong. I'm a strong person. I don't take rubbish." But you know what happened? This person died. So, or somebody who is also very lively. I say, "But what happened?" Okay. So, a well-being, you might not find this in dictionary. Well-being is in 7 dimensions. So, a total well-being of a man, number one, that person is physically sound. So, when I say total, that means the person is doing more than 50% in all this area. Physically sound. Number 2, mentally sound. Okay, when telling me, okay, I know this color, mental means I know this color, I know this one, A1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, if I go this way, I'll get. When a madman is mad because mentally is not sound, he doesn't even know where he's going to. So mentally, the person is sound. Okay, physically, the person is okay. Number 3, emotionally sound. There are people who are mentally sound, they have good education, they've gone to the best university, they are physically sound, they have biceps, they have 6 packs. Yeah, 6 packs. But you see, they just die by suicide. What happened? They are emotionally low. That means something happened at home. And I like, baby, if my wife talks to me, you have bicep now. You are physically strong. Look at a big man like you. He said, can you imagine the way they talk to me? Can you imagine the way they are abusing me on social media? Can you imagine the way they are abusing me on Twitter? And let me go and end it up today. Why? Because he is not emotionally strong. So you could be and the person is I don't want to mention the name of any school. Is a first class, student of the best university in the world, and he has biceps. He's physically strong, okay, but emotionally is low. That person can die by suicide, okay. Number 4. Environmental or socially strong. So you can also have all these 3 I mentioned above, and then socially you are very poor. People just do all sorts of things because they think that, oh, I'm not accepted in my society. Oh, my society is not accepting me. Many people who die by suicide die because of society pressure. Okay, because of my time, career, or industry. Oh, in my industry I'm not doing well. Oh, in my career I'm not doing very well. So in their career sense, they are at the bottom. So they are struggling to become somebody in their career, and it's disturbing it. Number 6, spiritual. Spiritual here is not church or mosque. Spiritual is depth. Spiritual, we human beings are spirits, and that's what religion is trying to feed. So when you go to the mosque, you go to the church, you go to the temple, you go Hindu, you do whatever thing you do, you are feeding your spirit part of a man. So if you are not spiritually strong, you will be down. And when you are down, you can also die by suicide. So I'm saying that we have to also check our spiritual strength. Okay, the last one is relational strength. Relational is key, because sometimes within your peers, you are not doing well. People are already building houses, they're already doing well, they have their car, they have award, they have done text, talk. I've not done text talk. I mean, in your relationship with people, you are very poor. You are not a total well-being person. So if you need help, I can also help you in these 7 dimensions. So I'm saying that beyond mental, physical, I'm telling WHO, we have 7 dimensions of what is called well-being. Okay, to your question, your answer now. To answer your question now, rest is key. But as we grow older, we need to understand our body, and then we need to also understand that different. I don't want to go deeper into that. Different blood type, different bodies build up, different body style, different body resistance. You cannot use somebody's result to measure your productivity. You cannot use somebody's the way they get result to measure the way you will get result. Okay, if somebody say, oh, I do 18 hours, if you try 18 hours with your body, it might break down. What is important is work, rest. So if you need to sleep. If you need to take a nap, sometimes it is good to take a 15 minutes nap or 10 minutes nap can save your whole life. So during break time, when you know you are very stressful, just take a nap in your office. Just take a nap. Just a nap on the couch or on your chair can save your life, can make you be productive again. Some of us have to also check, where is my energy so strong? When is my energy at the highest level? Some people it's in the morning, early in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning, push a lot of work in the morning. Do it. Some people by 12 o'clock they're already tired. Some is in the evening. So you need to do some rest, a lot of rest in the morning, afternoon. Then in the evening, your work starts. Like myself, I do much work after my siesta and in the evening or late in the night. So some people, they are night people. So you cannot use your rule that, oh, I sleep, you don't know if I sleep during the day. You don't know. To me, this meeting is productive for me. And I've been sleeping since and sleep more and say because I'm preparing my mind for this meeting. So you don't have a stereotype, box up time to sleep, but have hours enough that helps to bring your body back to life. So some sites say 8 hours, some say 6 hours, but what I would say is have a good time of deep sleep, deep rest. Not that you are sleeping, you are thinking. Not that you are sleeping, you are in the bed, your mind is still working. When I say sleep, you sleep. So let me stop that way. So when you work, rest. When you rest well. Sometimes you go on vacation. Sometimes you go to play. Sometimes you just go somewhere that is new. It might not be sleep like that. It might just be playing game. It might just be playing. It might be just jumping or exercise. You are resting your body, resting your mind, just from the normal walk to a particular level of rest. But then don't rest too much. After rest, go back to work.
Absolutely. After rest, go back to work. The area of conversation is that you've put in the work. Now, should you rest? Should you feel guilty for going to rest? So the idea is definitely, and there's a research, we will look up the link to that and share in the comment section. There's a research that shows that about 27 minutes of sleep in the afternoon actually does magic. It does serious wonder. And I can notice from the chat box, we are dropping in some suggestions also, drinking water. There's really a lot that you can. Some people do gratitude journaling. So if you wake up in the morning, what are you grateful for? As a digital wellness expert, our recommendation is once you wake up, your phone shouldn't be the first thing you're picking. Most times you pick up your phone.
Many of us are guilty of that.
Exactly. And you're putting on news, and you know news is not going to be exciting most times, more often than not. So that just destabilizes your day, which leads back to what you said. You need to know, so when am I most productive? Does morning work for me? Does afternoon work for me? Does evening work for me? And then channel it into that. But there's a question I want to throw to Mr. Dennis based on what you said. And it comes from the perception that because I'm strong, every other person should be strong. So there was a case last year it was on social media. I think it was on Facebook. I can't remember specifically, but someone had died by suicide. And then someone else, that the family member had posted about the whole scenario and the triggers and factors that led to that. And then someone came into the chat, the comment section, and it was like, he's been through worse. Like he had it more than what this person had. So this person has no right. And I notice a lot of time, especially on social media, which is where young people relate a lot. Someone tries to share that is going through one situation or the other, and people just make fun of them. We remember a case which fits into the example that you gave. This guy is the first child of the house. Him and his dad did a project after a couple of years of not getting a job. So they were able to get a small amount of money, invested it into a business idea that they felt it was going to go, and everything was working right until the 99th minute, and everything died down. And then this guy, having been out of job for years and then had this spark of hope that something is about to change, fell into depression over time. And then when he reached out to his family, he's the first son. People were like, what is wrong with you? By the time they are doing like this, what are your siblings supposed to do? So I just wanted to come, Mr. Dennis, sir, in terms of the stigma attached to people needing help or people just being human, because as long as you have a brain, at one point or the other, you will have a mental health challenge. Mental health has to do with your brain. So at one point or the other, there will be a challenge. So I just wanted to ask, what will be your say to people that are so judgmental? We are a generation of people losing compassion, losing empathy. What will you say to such people in terms of just being human and being able to live life as best you can?
Oh, thank you for that. In the Nigerian society or in Africa, one of the things that we need to inculcate into our culture is empathy. Okay, the way we are being trained or the way we've been wired in a way that we always want to max our weakness, we want to max our emotions. Especially for guys, you see them tell you that be a man, be strong, and people see people that seek for help as being weak. All right, we need to redefine strength and we need to redefine what weakness is. So one of the things I tell people is you need to learn to be empathic, and to be empathic is just simple. Putting yourself in other people's shoes, seeing through the eyes of other people. Okay, you can't judge people based on your own strengths. You can't judge people based on your own strengths. Okay, and we all have our strengths and our weaknesses. What breaks someone else may not break you, and what will break you may not break someone else. It's important that we learn compassion and we learn to be empathic. We learn to show empathy. Empathy is very, very, very critical among us. See, the results we have in Africa today are a function of our behavioral pattern, and our behavioral pattern are a function of our thinking, and our thinking are a function of our beliefs, our values, our perception. Now, the mindset of the African is actually wired or formed from their environment, education, experience.
Mr. Remi, how can we remedy this? We know that culture is cultivated over a period of time. So this mindset of being judgmental over, there's this quote that says, just because you're strong in somebody's weakness doesn't mean you're not weak in somebody else's strengths. So this perception of sympathizing with things that you relate with and then being judgmental with things that you do not relate with has become a culture over a period of time, such that another culture of keeping silent when you are going to issue has been developed. So I'm just thinking, since this has to do with our behavior as an individual and then collectively, what can we do to remedy this? Because like we said in the beginning, if the foundation is not set, then it becomes very difficult to be productive at all.
All right. So what I would advise for us who are here, because I might not be able to get across to those who are still in that culture, for those who are here and those who are listening to me, is to have what is called a buffer. A buffer. You must have a personal buffer where they throw things at you poor. Throw things, culture at you poor. They push it at you poor, because people will always push things at you. Culturally, we have this I am above you because I'm one day older than you. I am above you. I know more than you do. Culturally, because I am your boss, I know more than you. You don't have a say here. Culturally, I am your local government chairman, or I am your governor. I am superior. I am superior to you. I am your king. I am superior to you. So because of that culture, young people bow their head. They are frustrated. They can't even talk. And then in some of our culture, Yoruba culture, we say that when elders are talking, young children should close their mouths, literally, to shut their dirty mouth. So young people cannot express themselves. They cannot express what they feel. They cannot express what they are thinking in their mind because they'll be shut down. And I don't do that with my children. Today's children are computer children. They are digital children. They want to talk. Daddy, why is it this? Why is this? Why is that? Why? Allow your children to ask why. It helps them to express their creativity, to express what's their mind. And before you know, they cannot go into depression. Why? Because they are talking. But because our culture of shutting people down, you are so lazy. Why do you come late? Look at the time. Get out. Get lost. Don't say anything. Keep your mouth shut and go back. And that person says, wow, I'm good for you. Are good for nothing. You are good for nothing. And for the person to express why I came late, why this happened at work, I can't, your boss is like BOC. You cannot ask. You cannot even say anything from your boss. Some people, they appear before their boss like slaves. They will be shaking. When the boss comes in, everybody's like, the Lord has come. So such places, they are prone to people dying by suicide. Why? Because they just feel like they're frustrated. At home, I'm frustrated by my elders. At home, I'm frustrated by my parents. They ask me to keep quiet. My brothers and sisters ask me to keep shut. In the society, politician ask me to keep shut. At work, I'm shut down. So where do I express myself? I'm also in the person I get to social media and tweet something. I say, my friend, keep quiet. Go away. Rubbish. I say, hey. All over the places I'm rejected. Then, so what I'm saying is, you must have a buffer. And the buffer is, whatever they throw at me, I'm good. That is their opinion. That is their thinking. That's what they are thinking. That is them. That is not me. Find happiness for yourself and protect your happiness. Find happiness for yourself, protect your happiness. Anything that will divulge, that will siphon your happiness, poor topic, and let it reach you, be happy. They say things at you, they throw things at you, just keep laughing, keep smiling. Just like a goat that was thrown inside a dish, and they are throwing sand at the goat. And before you know, the goat was just shaking body. They throw things, you shake body. Before you know, the sand became the lifting platform for the goat. So you don't need to feel bad. When they throw things at you, shake your body, dust it off. Then you overcome suicide, thinking, you overcome challenges of life, and then you can use all those things as a feedback when you're going on. Let me keep quiet there.
This has just been fantastic. It's like we can keep going on and on and on, but because of time, we have to wrap up. So we still have a couple of minutes to go. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. This is an opportunity to get them live and direct. We'll be sharing links to where you can find out about them, follow them up on social media, know what they're doing, because this conversation has to keep going. So, but I have a couple more questions to just throw at, and then we'll probably use that to wrap up. And then if there's any question from the comment section, we'll just take that. Talking about coping mechanism, Mr. Dennis, I want us to come from that perspective, because again, if you are not in completeness of yourself, then it affects your productivity. Once you've got your health and wellness on point, then you can structure with clarity the value you want to build across all sectors that you are involved in. Someone said something, and I agree with it. They said it's not what people say about you that hurts you. It's what you believe about what they say. I see it to a very large extent that we are becoming a generation of people that define who we are by what society says. This happens because I work a lot with social media and the digital space, and we see a lot of young people define themselves by the number of likes, the number of retweets, the number of following that we have. But coming back to the holistic conversation, whether you are online or offline, what coping, because it's spoken about before now, it's spoken about having that backup plan. So when the world throws at you, you have a stepping down that you can use to now step up back to who you are. I'm beginning to see that both for the young people and for adults also, we are losing coping mechanisms. We cannot deny the place of one-on-one conversation, physical interaction. We understand COVID has come, but COVID has not come to stay. In the nearest time, we are praying that everything becomes normal. One of the ways we see coping mechanisms has to do with interrelationships with people, with different sectors that have to do generally with who you are and who you connect with. So my thought is, with the coming of the digital space and everybody doing everything online now, do we really have coping mechanisms so that when I'm trying to be productive and life hits me, nobody expected COVID to come, for instance, and life hits me, I can really easily regroup and fall back? Do you see that we still have coping mechanisms? Because without it, I doubt we can be productive.
Okay, good. So somebody was asking me in the chat room and said, oh, not everybody can have that buffer. Not everybody, depending on personality. Yeah. Yes, I agree with you, but everybody can be trained on how to do that. That's the question you're asking. You can be trained, you can be coached. So I am a life and productivity coach. I can coach you through building your buffer. Nobody just wake up overnight and become a buffer user. Permit my grammar. So the first thing is we have to change it from the mind. You have to work from the mindset. So what are the things that brings about this depression? I'm not feeling good. What is the opposite of feeling good? I'm feeling fine. What will make you to think that I am better no matter what they throw at me? You have to find it. And the first thing is to find, have you ever been better or done well somewhere or somehow before? Yes. When was that? When I passed my SSCE. Wow. You passed your SSC before, so what did you do that time? Yes, I read very hard. Though. I got support for it. I did this. In fact, I did this. I did so. What you did that time? Can you do it again? Okay. What was the time again that you felt very excited about yourself? Oh, when I toasted my wife and she agreed for me. Wow. So what gave me that confidence? So we are trying to pull and bring back all the areas of success of that person, and then we now break it down to what the person did. The mindset that what some say, it was the Bible I read that time. I which scripture was that? I can do all things through Christ. So why can't you do all things now? You say, that's true. So what are the thinking that made you to succeed, to toast your wife, to pass your jam, to get your first job, to get that first application in, to meet that gorilla, to fight that battle that time you want? Because in life, every one of us has won one battle before, and then in life we meet another challenge. So we always meet a challenge and we do as if that is the end. No, you have won before. We have to go back and find out what did you do. So the first thing is to change the mindset and let the person know that you are not a failure. You have succeeded before, and then you can succeed again. Number two, be conscious with the people that you hang around. If you hang around people that discourage you all the time, they will make you to be frustrated. They will depress you. So I have friends that I call when I'm going down and say, oh boy, so what did happen to you now? They kick me off. Get people that kicks you off, that kick you up, that tells you something that will make you to move on, that motivates you. Okay, number three, find mentors. Find mentors of who are doing well. It might not be physical, but you have to go to their YouTube channel, you have to watch their videos. So, wow, if this person can do this, I can do it now. Then I'm working towards something. You might not become your mentor overnight, but you are working towards something. So find mentors who are better than you on that part. Number three or number four, find information that can build you up. Many times why we fail is because we don't have enough information. Why we don't get so much, because we don't have enough. So find enough information that's relevant. Then find skill. What skill do you need to learn? Do you know what gives you confidence? I have my background in so and so. I attended Harvard. When you appear before some people, you are not afraid, right? You have a background of skill and knowledge that you have. But the question, you don't have anything at all. So when they push it at you, you're like, I'm gone. No, you're not gone. So you must also know that you must also find small wins. Don't go for something that you go, I want to do something and fail. No, find small wins. Today, I want to write a chapter of my book. I've written a chapter. Wow. I've done well. Take yourself out to, I don't want to mention any brand now, to any of the eatery, buy chicken, laps, buy, a drink, and say, wow, Remi, that's a good one to yourself. You are encouraging yourself. Nobody can, can bully you because you are a success. I succeeded yesterday, I'm succeeding today. So if I fail tomorrow, I've not failed. I've just need to find something else I can succeed in, and then appreciate myself. I mean, much more if you're on a coaching journey. So if you have such people, push them to me. I'll take them through the journey.
Fantastic. And guys, let's keep the conversation going in the chat segment. Like I said, because of time, we have to wrap up here. So I'll be taking final words from Mr. Dennis, and then we'll come back to Mr. Remi. But the conversation goes on in the chat box. And I want to ask a question in the chat box that I want our African audience to respond to. There's this notion that if you take a vacation in Africa, something is wrong with you. Like, why are you taking a vacation?
lazy dude.
So let's just have a conversation in that regards. But Mr. Dennis, your final words, sir.
Okay, I apologize for my network. My internet is quite bad. I'll just end by this. In my work of therapy, taking therapy and teaching session, one of the things I found out that actually sabotages a lot of people is their inner conversation. What they are telling themselves that they are not even aware that they are telling themselves. Take, for example, when I was battling depression, I had this internal conversation that kept on in my mind is, I am tired. Any little thing, I am tired. Otisumi, I am tired, I am tired, I am tired. Until I was able to track that conversation. And anytime I'm about to say I am tired or I've already said it, I had to reframe that conversation over and over again until I was able to silence that inner conversation. I wasn't better. So one of the things I want to encourage you, you need to pay attention to yourself. And that's the function of self-awareness. Pay attention to what you are telling yourself that you're not even aware of. So sometimes you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough. I can't survive. Africa is too hard. Nigeria, I can't succeed after. You need to track those conversations. And as you track them, you need to reframe them. And in reframing them, you must understand that your mind does not understand two negatives, or your mind cannot process two negatives. When you say, I am not tired, your mind is still hearing, I am tired.
Yeah, tired.
Because your mind will auto-delete the not. And what your mind will hear is tired. And that's why if you tell a child, don't go there, the child will want to go there. If I tell you now, don't see a red cow, you are most likely going to be seeing a red cow in your mind. Because your mind is not processed to understand two negatives. So listen to your conversation and focus on what you want, not what you don't want. Lastly, I will say focus on what you can control. Many people feel out of control because they are always focusing on what they cannot control. When you focus on what you cannot control, you will always feel out of control. And that's one of the things that brings hopelessness. Always focus on what you can control. What can you control? You can control your internal condition. It is said, what sinks a ship is not the storm. What sinks a ship is the storm that gets into the ship. So as long as you are able to control what you can control, your thoughts, your response to life, what stresses you, you are more stressed by how you are responding to what is happening to you, or you are less stressed by what is happening to you. What is stressing you out is not what is happening to you. What is stressing you out is how you are interpreting and responding to what is happening to you. If you can master your interpretation to life and master your response, you are going to master life. Nothing has meaning except the meaning you give to it. Nothing in life has meaning except the meaning. If you master the way you label and give interpretation to life, you are going to master your productivity, you are going to master your wellness, it says change your perspective to change your life. All right, I think with this, because of time, I'll just like to stop.
Remi, just your final words very briefly.
All right. I just want to wrap up. I've said so much things today. I want you to understand that you are unique. Understanding, just like my brother said, is self-awareness, understanding of who you are that change your story in life and then can help you to overcome the idea or the concept or the thinking that you want to die by suicide or you want to, go that path. Now, and I'll give you just 3 and then I'll wrap it up. The number one thing to show to you that you are unique, you are here on earth for a special purpose and nobody can take that from you. It is your thumbprint. Your thumbprint has a unique identity that is given to you. I don't know how many billions of people on earth today now, the number keeps changing. But I tell you, with the numbers of people that we have on earth, you have your own unique thumbprint identity. Nobody can take it from you. That means there's something about you. Nobody should be able to bully you or just just shout on you or shout you down and say you are nobody. No, there's something, and that thing came for a reason. If I'm not doing productivity, I will not be here. If I'm a shoemaker, I'll be in Aba doing shushu or be somewhere. That means because I am here on productivity and I know that globally my place in Africa is given to me. I know. Today they call me productivity expert from Africa. That is what I saw in 2007 when I started this journey. So I knew it. It will not happen overnight. I was the only black person that spoke at the World Conference of Productivity Science. Global, all over the world, speakers all over the world. I was the only black, only African, and there are whites in front of me. I was afraid at the first time, experts, and I was like, what would I say here? But you know what? I remember that I am here on assignment. My fingerprint shows me that I have an assignment here. Number two, your eyes retina. You are the only person that have that retina. I mean, the scientists know how to get that. Nobody on earth has that. It's a proof that you are here to see something uniquely for yourself and have something in your hand to make it happen. See and do. See and do. That's productivity. It's about sight and doing. So with your retina, see a new path, see a new path, see a new way. Then with your hand, make it happen. That is productivity. So productivity for you to succeed in life constantly and to keep going is to keep seeing and to keep endorsing and keep doing. And I'll wrap up with this story. So one day, 2 years after I started productivity thing, I was invited by the senior managers of Chevron to come and talk to them on productivity. I didn't have a car, I didn't have anything, I have only one suit, and I have name on social media. So they invited me as productivity expert. When I got there, I saw the car they parked. I saw the people I was to train. I had a very small stature. You can imagine me those, more than 12, 13 years ago. So when I entered into the hall, I saw big senior managers. My heart jumped out of my mouth. But I remember what I'm telling you right away, that I am created for a purpose. If they know what I am, I have to tell them, they will not invite me. I have something to tell you people here. You must have traveled at that time. I've not even gone out of this country more than Ghana. I said you must have gone, and all of them, I mean, you can imagine where they've gone to all over the world. But I said, I have something within me. When I was done, I shared what I know in my knowledge of productivity that I know. And they all stood up and said, wow, that was a great one, Mr. Remi Dairo. But you know what? It was great in my heart before I delivered it. It was great in my heart before I delivered it. Most time we deliver what was already destroyed or what was already done and failed. So when you deliver a failed presentation, it will be a failed, it will receive a failed acceptance. If there's any grammar like that. What I'm saying is what you get is what you put in yourself. Input and output. So your tongue, your eye retina, and your understanding of your identity on earth is uniquely unique to you. Thank you very much. Let me keep right in there. I can keep on and on and on. But anybody who needs help in this dimension to how to move you from where you are to a level of productivity, or thinking about suicide, frustration, and all that, we can also chat up, and I can coach you and take you through some therapy sessions, which I know my brother can also do, and then we can take you out of this this phase. And you can always be productive and be a global champion. Thank you very much. It's my pleasure being on this platform today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.